Hello and welcome to week 3 of AC1110 Accounting Fundamentals. Remember that the contact information is down here with the name, the email address, and the phone number. Remember that the office hours are at 6 p.m. on Monday. So Monday, 6 p.m. Pacific time. Not required, but it is time that is carved out for you if you have questions at that time. It is in a question and answer format, so if you join the meeting, make sure that you got some questions that you want to ask about at that time. And if we want to choose to use it at that time, we can use the screen share software where we can work problems together. We can pull up some Excel sheets and kind of work problems in Excel in that way. I do recommend doing that on your own as well and experimenting with software and having groups. And to do that, you can contact each other through the participants in Moodle rooms, send contact information, and experiment with software like Skype and joinme.com. Again, I think the best format of that is just to have a screen share so you can look and see how you can work through some problems on the screen in software like Excel. And so let's go back to Moodle Room. Also note that most of the assignments do have links to instructional videos that just walk through step by step on the assignment, as well as there's some other links that will be for lectures. Those are mainly housed on this website here. So you could go to this website directly by clicking here and then go to Charter College and Accounting Fundamentals being the class that we are in. I'm going to go back to Moodle Rooms here. Now, if any of the links are running slow or if that website's not pulling up as quick as you would like, it does seem to me that some things are pulling up faster in the YouTube channel. So I've uploaded most of the stuff to YouTube as well, and that seems to work better on tablets and phones and other things, as well as pulling up a little bit quicker on the computer. So in order to get there, if any links are not pulling up as fast as they should, try the YouTube channel, which is this link here. And then we're going to go under Charter College, so Charter College down here, and we're in AC 1110. So most of the classes, most of the videos will be in here. You have to search them by name, but you should be able to find those in here as well. Going back to Moodle Rooms, let's go down to the current week we are in, which of course is week 3 at this time. So hopefully the format is becoming somewhat familiar at this point, where we have the objectives at the top. You can read through those. We have the topics, then we have the lessons. Main thing in the lessons we want to take away from is that we have chapter 3 and chapter 4 that we will be covering this time. We started chapter 3 last time. We're going to continue on chapter 3 this time. That's our main focus, is chapter 3. We'll then start chapter 4, and we'll continue on chapter 4 next time in week 4. You've also got your instructional videos down here. If these links don't open up, or if you want to go to it directly, I do suggest the YouTube channel rather than maybe the website. If you're using things like a phone or tablet and stuff like that, it might open up a little bit faster and be easier to navigate through. Then we have all the information that we have to actually complete and check off as we go. Before we get into that, I want to go into the suggestions for all classes and how to approach them. One is get full credit on the discussion forums. They're worth 21%. I suggest trying to get 100% of the 21% because you have the most control over that to do that. Then the assignments and the homework, I suggest trying to get full credit on those as well. And I know there's a lot of assignments and homework. There's a lot of work in this class. But with the resources involved, we should at least not be getting zeros on the assignments and homeworks. We should be completing a good portion of them, and so make sure to get as many points as those as you can, because again, you have a lot of control over that as compared to the quizzes, midterm, and final, which we have the least amount of control over. And if we pick up all these other points, we're going into this with a very good point cushion total. So you want to be as prepared as possible for these and make sure to take them by the end of the week. But if you don't do as well as you hope, then you're going into it with a good point cushion total by picking up all these other 21, 33, and 13% going into it. So how can we do that? We're going to go down through here. Remember that the Moodle Rooms shell is where you want to check everything off. This is where you want to check it all off that you've completed it. Even if you're doing it up here in Connect, it'll be listed in Moodle Rooms. This is your list. All right, so the first one is the discussion questions. So the discussion questions, you need at least 4 posts. You're probably going to need more than that. Most students need more than that. Remember, they are graded a bit differently in that they accumulate upward. So we have to go up to full credit. That could be done in the minimum of 4 posts, but most students are going to need more in order to get there because the post may not be as good as they could be. And in order to get full credit on some types of posts, if you copy and paste something from Google, make sure to put a reference. You don't want to be plagiarizing, and then try to put it in your own words after it, and that'll give you more points on it. If you respond to someone else's post, make sure to put something more in it other than basically rephrasing what has already been said. Something new needs to be in there in order to get full credit on those. Also, I'm going to post a lot more stuff in there, obviously. That's not to intimidate anyone or overwhelm people with questions. It's so that we can answer a lot of questions in that time period and get as many points. I want everybody to get as full credit, if possible, on those. And then we have the assignments. The first one's going to be in Connect. That's going to be the longest assignment, actually. So if we go up to Connect here, and we go into week 3, this assignment is actually the big one here, and you may actually want to do it in a different order. Once you're in here, maybe the Learn Smarts before this assignment, but this is the assignment we just looked at in Moodle Rooms. It's going to be the notebook. Now, remember that when you go in here, you want to first open up the paperclip. The paperclip will give you like a lot of basically the answer to a lot of it. It's going to be a very long problem, but a lot of the formatting is given to you here, and we just need it, so that means a lot of it's kind of data entry. We've got to take it from the Excel sheet and put it in there. So if you open the paperclip up, you will open up an Excel sheet that looks like this, 3 tabs, and you got the video tab where you can watch the videos, example tab, very similar problem, not quite the same, very similar, and then you got the worksheet. You could work it in Excel. You don't have to work it in Excel. I highly recommend working in Excel because it's good to work in Excel. But you could kind of use the example tab and then try to plug it into Connect as well. And you might ask, well, how might that work? Well, for example, you could take this, we're going to pull this and snap it to this side, and then open up Connect on the other side. You don't have to do it side by side, but this is one way to look at it. And if we scroll down to where we actually enter the data with these journal entries, the first one is to pay $9.75 cash to Hillside Mall for Business Solutions share of mall advertising costs. Now, we can think of and look at the trial balance and think through that, and we can also see that this first entry here is going to be very similar to what we have there, meaning we're going to debit, in this case, advertising expense for, in this case, $9.75 rather than the amount here. It's a different number, same format, $9.75, and then we're going to credit cash. And that's going to be a credit of $9.75. Just remember not to put brackets in this worksheet, even though we're using brackets over here. Other than that, we got data entry. Again, it's a lot of information to input, but you should have a lot of resources to input a lot of it using this Excel worksheet. And I do recommend watching the videos and doing this worksheet as well if you have the time to do that. It can be very helpful. So go back to Moodle Rooms over here. We're going to scroll down to the next item, which is going to be in Moodle Rooms. So you want to open this and then download this worksheet, complete it, and then upload it here in Moodle Rooms, not Connect, here in Moodle Rooms. There'll be a submit button. That's where you want to upload this worksheet. Should be a lot smaller of a worksheet to upload. If you uploaded it to Connect last time, then just redo it and upload it. I won't take any points off for it because I know it could be kind of confusing to upload it to Connect. So just make sure that you go in there and you get it into Moodle Rooms. If you have a 0 on it, highly possible that you uploaded it to Connect, and then if you just download it again and upload it here, we'll pick that point up. All right, we're going to go back to Moodle Rooms over here. And then we have the Learn Smarts, so I won't go over there, but the Learn Smarts are going to be these 2 homeworks in Connect. So those are in Connect, those are the Learn Smarts. So make sure to complete those. Just make sure that you remember there's only 25 questions in them. Once you're done with 25 questions, then you should be done with it, although you can go back in there and continue to practice. Now, the midterm will be the last thing to do here. It is worth more than the quizzes. You can't usually take the midterm after the due date, which is Sunday, unless there's an unusual circumstance. Therefore, make sure to take the midterm by Sunday. It is a multiple choice question format, so you should be able to pick up some points even if you're not fully prepared on it. Going to go up to the gradebook then, up top. Here's the gradebook on the left-hand side. Remember that in the gradebook, basically how it's going to work is that I have Tuesday following the week to enter all the grades or complete the entry of all the grades for the week as well as late work. For example, as of the end of week 2, it ends on Sunday. By the following Tuesday, I will have all this populated for both everything through week 2 as well as any late work for week 1 that had not yet been picked up. And therefore, what you want to do is on Tuesday, you want to make sure that all this has been populated for week 2 and that everything's been picked up in accordance with how you already know it should be, given the fact that you've been following all that and making sure that you have it all in there through week 2. So for example, week 2 here will populate in the discussion forum, the quiz will populate, the assignments will populate, and the homework will populate. If it does not populate, or if you get a 0 in it, then think about picking up late work and If you pick up the late work, then the grade won't pop into Moodle Rooms. For sure, it won't happen until the next following Tuesday. So then at the end of week 3, the Tuesday following week 3, I'll populate everything through week 3 as well as late work at that time. So that's going to be it for week 3. Have a great week 3.